Greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations, greetings and salutations. Episode 2, Season 3, Fabian Seh. What am I saying? I'm saying I love culture. I'm a cultural aficionado, a cultural studies teacher, lecturer. I love culture, Jamaican language. But sometimes we go on like say, we do lip service to the culture. We say we love it, we say we support it, but we don't really turn in our numbers. We don't also do the due diligence to become scholars and experts in it, and own it. And then when other people show or express interest or take it on, not appropriating it, we vex. So recently, the whole Grammy excitement, I didn't comment because I didn't listen to the album in question, and I would have needed to listen to all the albums. But what I did say to people is, we vex for everything. If a Mali win, we vex. We say the thing set up in rig. If he's not a Mali, we vex. Coffee won with an EP, people vex. How do you become part of the industry so you can vote and understand how rules work? Have our artists and musicians done that? How do we take back what belongs to us? I was so proud of Chronix when he came out defending that band, saying him know them, and him know them as gentlemen who respect the culture, who are real reggae artists, who also support and help other reggae artists. So, culture, what are we doing with it? A lot of our young people, when I talk to them don't know nothing about the culture and the history. We're losing it. They're more au fait with foreign culture, and no, it's not foreign people because it is we. And here's some of the problems. So in a couple of classrooms, I've had young people say to me, their grandmother, their grandfather, or your grandmother in particular, is like 40. And a hot gal road. She don't know nothing about Anansi story and Jamaican proverbs. And so who is telling them, back in the day when our grannies were 80 and 70 and 90 and had all these stories with all these ways of doing things. Like my grandmother, I used to watch her brew coffee and make chocolate tea, and she teach me put a little tips of salt in the coffee to draw out the flavor. I watched her make bami and all these things, and those things became rooted in me, in my identity. So culture is this powerful, beautiful thing that identifies and grounds us. But if we don't own it, if we don't honor it and respect it and study it and pass it on to the younger generation, we're going to lose it. And other people who love it and like it are going to take it over and run with it. I'm talking to a gentleman who has started something that I think is one of the many steps in the right direction of people who are doing the thing, not just talking about it, or seeing a need and filling it. Culturally speaking, we're going to be talking to Michael Sean Harris about Reggae Online. Tune in for me, dance ring. So the lyrics go. Anyway, my God. Greetings and salutations. As you can see from the grin on my face, I'm very excited about being here, but usually kind of excited, but I'm extra excited for a few reasons. This is episode 2 of season 3 of Fabian Seh, which I'm launching the day after my birthday, or relaunching. Very excited and grateful about that. And I'm additionally excited because sharing the space with me is Michael Sean Harris, whom we are come from back in the days of Ashley, which should be mentioned in this interview. But also, I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about because Michael had this really great idea that he's been working really hard on that's about to come to light and life in the world. But also, Michael is my new producer and co-conspirator for Fabian Seh. So yes, thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes.
Yes, man.
I'm going to start that again by saying, Mike, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you and so excited about this journey. So, folks, as you can see from the title, Michael has started this community called Reggae Online. Tell the people what Reggae Online is, Mike.
Okay, so Reggae Online is a few things. At the very basic, it's a growing collection of courses, online courses, self-guided online courses on Jamaican culture, on the music, on the language, and hopefully any aspect of the culture you can think of. So that's the very basic thing. The other aspect of that is the people who are doing the courses then become part of this community of people who are interested in Jamaican culture or who are teaching about Jamaican culture, and so they can interact with the people who have created the courses, can interact with each other on those topics. Um, One of the future plans is to have a couple of book clubs as part of that as well,
Mhm.
which you are also very very much involved in. So and that again is going to expand this community, online community aspect as well. So yeah, the
And I
basic.
love that. I'm excited. And I think it's great timing because, COVID dropped in our life without warning, dash from without warning, and forced many people kicking and screaming
Mhm.
into the virtual reality, face to face, namely that keep. So, as a teacher, as a lecturer, I love teaching virtually. I love face to face, but I love a lot of my colleagues hated it.
Yeah,
They resisted, or they just come and talk to the student that they're using elements and movies and clips. And I think this is the perfect time. So some people who may not have been as savvy or open are more open and savvy now.
yeah,
I'm also really excited about the idea of just how people do these online courses. I'm amazed at how many Jamaicans and people I know are doing online courses, but the
yeah.
idea of a self-directed course. So you're not coming on live for to be lectured to or spoken about. That will be something we organize later on in the run or the life of the. But
Right,
right now, you pay for your course, you click, module one comes up, and you navigate module one on your own. You watch the videos, you do the reading, and then there's a quiz. Most things have a quiz at the end. There's some
right,
kind of quiz to what you learn, and the person does that completely on their own, and
right.
then they can give their feedback and comments, and then they can go on and do several other courses, but they can also become part of this community where there
Exactly.
are chat rooms and they can send messages so people can. And that's what I love about it because Jamaica, good, bad, or indifferent, we are a collection, we're community driven
Yes.
groups, and sometimes it becomes, cliques and cabals, but that's a different conversation. But this connectivity, and people say, women don't, and even back in the day, somebody would say, you come to the community and somebody say, you are whose child? They want to connect you with a family. You are
Yes.
you are you are Harris. Which are the Harris then? The Harris up at
Yes.
top side or bottom
We
road.
get that a
So
lot.
they
Yes.
locate you. So for me, Reggae Online provides that you come on as an individual,
Right.
but you can now plug into a community. Where did the inspiration or idea or drive for this come from, man?
I can say that it probably came from when I went to college, when I went to Berkeley the first time to do my
Mm-hmm.
undergrad. I was doing all
People,
this.
all I want to pause. He said, when I went to Berkeley the first time. I just wanted to point that to the kids about the business, as you were.
Right. Um, so yeah, I was doing all these courses, because I was in an exploratory mode, kind
Mm-hmm.
of checking in, Afro-Cuban things, checking in Brazilian music, checking in Latin American stuff, all these different things. So I realized, okay, well, a lot of these things are really structured, and there's terms and things. It's kind of codified, and there's analysis has been done and research, and so people are
Mm-hmm.
sharing the culture based on that. And I remember asking a few people, so what do we call this for us, for Jamaica? How would you call this? And how is this, what's the
Mm-hmm.
terms for this? And, that they couldn't answer, and so I wasn't getting those things. So I felt, well, something needs to be done about this. And then,
Mm-hmm.
there were books written by people who weren't Jamaican as well, and when you read the books, yeah, some things might be true, but then also there's an agenda too for some of the people that I spoke to, and also they
Mm-hmm.
might have their own agenda, which doesn't really reflect what the reality is or was.
Yes.
So I felt that this could be done. I mean, the talent is there, the intelligence is there, the skills are there for Jamaicans to do this. Either Jamaicans or people who have localized themselves in Jamaica and become
Mm-hmm.
part of the society and the culture, to be the ones to take the lead I mean, nothing wrong with other people doing it. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But to be the ones that take the lead and write our own narrative on what this music is, what the history is, what it meant, what it can mean, what it will be, what it can be. And
Mm.
for those people as well to be the ones who can say, let me earn a living from these things that I've been doing, or, this thing that I know, or this thing that I originated. Let me be the one, to to earn a living from this, because other people are earning livings and degrees from the Jamaican culture, and
So,
and they haven't lived it, and
yeah,
again, nothing wrong with that. I'm
right.
just saying, that you know, it'd be nice. This is my, the idea I had. It'd be nice to involve these people and pull all these people along with me,
Right.
in a sense, because the Reggae Online thing. It's never ever meant to be. Oh, Michael teaching this, Michael teaching that. It's not about that.
Mm.
So I'm trying to get all these other people. Again, I guess the community thing comes back. I'm trying to bring this
Yes.
community of people along with me.
Yes. And personally speaking, I remember. So when you approached me first, I had the model I had in my head was I'm going to come on and do an hour-long presentation and
Right.
go out with this. When we tell Michael yes, then he starts to say, "So, what module one?" I said, module one. Is not a one-off. Michael said, "No, it's a course." I said, "When you say course, what do you mean?" And he said,
Mm,
"Course." I said, "Okay, cool." Still, and then later on, now he said, "Okay, so uploading pictures," and I was like, "This is a real thing that I have ownership of. I'm part of creating it. I'm not being used as
right.
fodder. It is intimate involvement in the process." And Mike's enthusiasm and his tenacity, I was like, "This is actually," and I became additionally excited by that process of, okay, and when it's recording, or the quizzes and audio clips and that kind of thing of like, yeah, this is really nice. This is really,
Mm,
and then that whole thing of earning from it, as you said, it's you have this knowledge and the skill, and we put it out there, and people can enjoy it. And I'm glad you mentioned Mike, so I want to go in right now.
yeah.
We're just going swinging. Some folks have had opinions about who Mike has asked to teach certain things.
Right.
And you heard my Fabian say pre-chat before we did this,
Right.
and it alluded to this idea that people have of me own things and nobody else, and if you don't look and sound a certain way. And look, there
Hmm.
are people who immerse themselves in a culture and who become experts at it, who respect and honor it. They're not pariahs, they're not using it, and they are valid. So, Mike, let's talk about a few of the reactions we've had from people when they see somebody teaching a course who don't look right to them, and suddenly I can't believe you have these foreigners.
Right. The
Let
the
me talk about that.
xenophobia comes
Let me
comes
talk
in.
about that.
Well, I mean, there's a couple, but some of these people who are saying those things just want to say something for the sake of saying
Mhm.
something, and maybe they think that that's their brand. But whatever. I mean, what a brand to have. But you know, because as they were saying it, there's several people going, no, but you don't know who this person is, and you don't know what this person has
Mhm.
done, and that didn't mean a thing to that person. They
Yeah.
just kept going. You know,
Yes.
so
Yes.
and then eventually it they came back with very kind of personal jabs and stuff. And I was like, all right, enough.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
just leave that alone. But for these people, I mean, there are people who have been, uh, in the culture, whether teaching or performing or learning or whatever, who live there, who are married to Jamaicans or whatever, who are,
Mhm.
um, they're part of the culture now. They're
Or in one particular case, they're the only somebody doing that.
exactly
There's nobody else
there's nobody else
doing that
doing it.
particular
Yes,
thing.
exactly,
Which
exactly.
speaks again to that idea. You decided, let me do this, because a lot of us sit back and we complain and criticize, but then when somebody else does it, like I shared with you, a colleague of mine sent me a feedback that somebody said, "Oh, I can't believe so and so they're paying foreigners." And like, first of all, that body you mentioned not paying anybody,
Exactly.
and also this person is legitimate, and then also it is, Mike couldn't just jump up and then even that thing of, do you know how many other people that you might have like to see Mike ask for all years and
Mm,
nothing can submit yet?
right.
People don't have the time, don't collaborate. So it is, that thing of,
I,
but you
yeah.
said something really powerful. You said, you know what? Well, guess what? We will ride this publicity train.
Yes.
Let me put us out even more. Mike was unbothered. Right? And then, as you said, it has died down because I personally am honored and so impressed and moved to be part of the people who are doing this. And even when I've watched some of the clips and you sent some of the stuff for me to I'm like, this is gonna be so cool. Because like even with banjo making, which is geared,
No,
not
that's Jeff.
that's Jeff.
Right.
Our colleague Gay Magnus, when Gay Magnus wanted to study steel pan, she had to go to Europe.
Yeah. And
There's no
not to
steel pan
Trinidad.
course not to Trinidad. There's no steel pan course being offered in the region. I'll switch now, Michael, and ask you, as far as you know, at our premier performing arts college in Jamaica, is there a degree in reggae? Is there a degree people can
No,
come up
there
with a
there
degree in
isn't.
reggae?
So let me, and I'm gonna say no, and I'm also gonna say the things that I've proposed for years. So I proposed a reggae summer school, which is like a 2 week intensive thing.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened. That's been about 8 years. I also proposed like a reggae institute, and again, the mouths is like, oh, that's great, but then when it came to action, nobody kind of,
Yeah.
nobody was really on board. So, and then that's another thing, I said, okay, let me just do it myself. I can't afford a building because the real estate in Kingston is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I can do it online. It's not cheap either,
That,
but let me do it online, and
thank
maybe
you.
I can involve even more people
Yeah.
online. And
And that thing.
I was
Go
saying
ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, part of the idea as well is with the online thing is to also, once we have enough of these courses up and people have done like a cohort of, we've done like a cohort of and a suite of the courses,
Mm-hmm.
to say, okay, no, you've done it. Yes, you live in Japan or you live in Germany or you live in the US or wherever. Now we're gonna do a 2 week intensive in Jamaica for those who are interested.
Yes.
Come, and then we're gonna go to studios and we're
Yeah.
gonna meet the musicians and
Yes.
learn from them and eat the food and
Yes.
see the sights and the whatnot. So
Yes.
that is also a part, in the future.
Because they've been part of this community that there's
Yes.
so that for me that's the beautiful thing and the idea. And then what I like, Mike, and this is just based on who you are, and I know also what I brought to the space is we are also including on there links to other people's things.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
though we're going to roast some people on here,
Right.
there are links on there. They're mentioned. There's a reference, because I think of, and I love and honor and respect this man so much. Herbie Miller.
Yes.
Herbie tried to start a reggae museum and him get one little room, no funding. It's not been funded. And that should have a whole space to itself.
Right.
And Herbie has spent his life, and Herbie was there. Herbie know Danjo man. Him know the Scatterlight them.
And I've had a discussion with Herbie about writing a course as well. So I mean that
Yeah,
is
man.
such
Yeah,
a
man.
final
And then
time.
what can happen is I think even some of us, people who need a little more help and structure, we can say, okay, I will come and sit with you.
Yeah.
And record you, or let's write out the outline, because not all creatives head work that way.
Right.
But I think for me, I love the fact that this is an inclusive space. We want to include and document and include as many people and sources and references that are authentic and credible and reliable. So it's not about Michael Sean Harris going, hey, look at me. It is like, here's a credible source for accessing Jamaican culture and information in a particular space and context.
As a matter of fact, because this is, I guess maybe there's something wrong with me, but I mean, I was trying to keep my name out of it in the beginning. And some people are like, "What? No, but no, you need to let people know you're."
They're like tappy foolishness,
right?
Tappy.
But then some of the people, like some of the our favorite internet trolls, some of the people is like, what happened to this person and that person and that person? But little did he know that I've spoken to all of those people that he listed, and either the person just couldn't come through or it's in the process,
Yeah.
So
or some people it's just not their thing.
It's just not their thing.
Then say if you want me to come by and do a talk or just a reason, fine. But I'm not so some people that's not their that's not how they roll.
Yeah.
So tell us what courses are available on Reggae Online at this moment in time.
Okay, so your courses. Let me start with your courses. Two of the three that you have proposed are up, which is Talking Bob, which is a trod through the life and career of Bob Marley, which is a course you've taught at UE and other places. And as you call yourself, you're a Bob Marley nerd. So
Bob Marley nerd.
So that course is there. The next one is Jamaican Music, A Little Look.
Yes.
and that is not a completely in depth, but a kind of overview of
Yes.
the history of Jamaican music and the
Yes.
different genres, the different
And like
styles
for
and
instance, one of the
eras.
things I said to Mike, what I said to you was, I just said it's a little look. Some of the other things, the detailed unpacking, other I think musicologists could do,
Right.
not me. So
And
I
I
was
was
like, yeah, man, I
thinking
can do the
exactly.
intro. What
And I
am I
was
thinking
thinking,
about?
yeah,
I
man.
said, for when we do a deep dive, we can ask
Right.
so, we can ask because it's not about us. It's not about, ooh,
Exactly.
look at me. I have 20 courses. I'm
Right.
the
Exactly.
champion. It's not about that. It's
Yeah.
like I'm good at this. I know this. I can share this.
Right. And
So
and
my
when
two
you said
courses and then
that,
what else? Yes.
I mean, when you said that, I was like, "That's good." I mean, this can eventually be like an introduction, and then hopefully, when Herbie writes his course, it can
Thank
go
you.
in depth because he has that.
Thank
That
you.
is his area.
Yes.
Okay, so those two courses. Garrett Baines, he's written this course called Reggae Rudiments, and he's also written a book called Reggae Rudiments. We kind of did it at the same time, and that is about the theory of reggae, the different rhythms, and what the elements are, the bass, the drums, the guitar,
Hmm.
etc. And it's notated, everything. It has music notation and examples and all that kind of stuff. And he's giving the
Awesome.
lectures. So that's Reggae Rudiments. The other one is the art of gourd banjo making, and that's Jeff Menzies. And so we know about mento, Jamaican folk music. Mento, the banjo is the instrument
Hmm.
for mento. Mento is coming from Africa and the plantations, and it's coming from an instrument
Hmm.
called the banza, and so this is kind of fusing those things and harkening back to what it used to be.
Hmm.
So it's using the gourd to create the resonant body for the
Hmm.
banjo, and he goes through the steps of preparing the gourd and all the cutting the wood and milling the wood and sanding and everything, skinning it, and he skins it with Jamaican goat skins, and actually that's one of his businesses, so he can provide those things, the
Yeah.
goat skins to the people for drums and for the banjo, and tuning it, creating the pegs, everything. There's about 47 videos
Boy,
in his course.
it's a
So
proper course. Proper, proper,
right,
proper.
right. We have a couple of people taking it now, and one of them just posted some examples of his gourd, the first steps that he's doing. So in the
Nice.
community, he'll post little
Awesome.
pictures and things. So
Awesome.
it's going really well.
Awesome.
What haven't I mentioned?
Keep it a
There's
drumming.
Kumina drumming. Our good friend Kevin Douglas, who
Yes.
is from St. Thomas, whose father was in Kumina, whose grandfather was in Kumina. So Kumina drumming is so you're not going to learn to be a Kumina drummer when you do Kumina drumming. You're going to learn about
Yeah.
Kumina drumming and a
Hmm.
little bit about Kumina, the tradition and that kind of thing. You learn some of the chants as well. Another one, is another person cursed me out on Instagram. So, how you going to teach Kumina drumming? You know what kind of spirits you're dealing with? And I just kindly answered as like, well, yes, Kevin does know, and he knows the difference between authentic Kumina and stage
Thank you.
Kumina. And
Thank
yes,
you.
he does, because he's from St. Thomas and he's
Yes.
of
Yes. You
Kumina.
never just drag up somebody and
Ex-
say, you can't come with a
exactly.
course now. Running.
Exactly. So yeah, so there's Kumina drumming, and then I have a course called 30 Days of Gratitude, and that
Hmm.
is every day you get a lesson, prompting you in a different aspect of how something to express gratitude about, something
Hmm.
to think about, to consider about your life, about how you are in the world, that kind of thing. So those are the ones that are presently there. Oh, and also there's a couple of coaching things. There's a vocal coaching course, which is very one-on-one. So that is
Hmm.
one of those courses where you will be on Zoom,
Right.
and that kind of thing. And then there's one for Jeff as well. So if you want this more personalized interaction with Jeff when you're doing your banjo thing, you can also do a
Nice.
coaching thing with him. Otherwise, you do the course and you can post, and he will respond to you on the community site as well.
Right.
As you do.
Now, do
So
you want to give a preview of anything that is to come? That
so yeah, I can,
you have
sure.
relatively certainty will come?
Boy, you can never be certain, but I'm going to put it out there anyway.
Yes.
So there's some courses by Maria Hitchens on
Hmm.
dancehall dance culture, because she's a
Hmm.
practitioner and a researcher,
Advocates and
advocate, exactly,
activists for dancehall. Yep.
activist, exactly.
Yep.
So the first one is Bust the Dance, which hopefully will come out soon. And then there'll also be some practical courses, teaching the actual dance moves. Another one is reggae bass, and Peter Ashburn is supposed to be working with Glenn Brownie, who is
Yep.
he is reggae bass. Yes. So and Peter is great with the research aspect of it as well. And then I'm creating a reggae drum course based on Desi Jones's book. So I mean, it's really his course, but I'm gonna format his book and create the course and then film him and that kind of thing.
Nice.
And then there's a couple. Oh, there's a couple production courses, a dance hall production course and a reggae production course. So for people who want to build a rhythm or to create the music and that kind of thing with their either FL Studio or Logic or whatever. So those are coming up, and then there's some others I'm working on, but I think those are the ones I can mention right now.
And then the other one that has been a long journey that I'm excited about, and I'm working with a colleague of mine, Susanna Blagrove, is the Jamaican language course.
Yes.
Jamaican language for beginners.
Right.
And again, when we, initial idea we met, and we said, okay, if we're going to do this properly, we have to really dedicate some time to getting the modules right, and the images, and the classes, and the glossary, and proverbs, and because so we went down a rabbit hole, like, okay, this is a big piece of work, but also it was exciting because we both love the Jamaican language and we've studied it, and so that coming together has been wonderful. But it really, again, we said, okay, this needs a little more. This is, if we're going to do this properly, let's really dig deep. So we're excited about that as well. So the website is up, but you have an official launch of Reggae Online. When is that, sir?
The 11th of May. So Wednesday,
the 11th. So that is, so today's Sunday the 8th. So that's in 3 days.
Yes.
In 3 days. Look at that. How you feel? That
excited and nervous. There's so much to do because you know how it goes. I mean, so far it's still me doing everything. So I'm doing the social media stuff. I'm editing video. I'm helping to create courses. All these things. So there's a lot to be done still, but most things are in place. So I feel good. I'm excited. I don't sleep really because I'm always thinking, oh, what next do I need to do, or what next can I do?
You try to sleep, it wake you up that you have this thing to do.
Yes.
So people can access the Reggae Online where now?
Reggae Online is the website, and even from the website you can go to the community site as well. I am going to now put up a banner for Reggae Online.
Awesome.
And so
and while you're doing that, are there any supporters, collaborators, sponsors, donors, ideators you want to big up now?
There we have the Tourism Enhancement Fund, who came through with some assistance for promotion and equipment, and also for getting some editing done as well. And then the Ministry of Culture, Education, Gender and Sports, they're helping with some promotion things for the launch specifically. So let's see who else. That's it really.
Jamaicans.com, that collaboration.
Jamaicans.com we've collaborated with for Reggae Month, and we probably will collaborate again for Independence. So that's good. Who else we've done stuff? Actually, Berkeley Global Initiatives have been very, very supportive. We've actually done a webinar with them, to kind of expose what the Reggae Online stuff is about. So that's been really good. So so those are the people who have been believing in us so far.
And we're affirming and knowing that more will come when it's up and running and in the world and even more visible. More people come on and say, how can I help? What can I donate? What can I do to advance this?
Right. And so here, this is the website. This is reggaeonline.com. And then I can also share the social media, where we are on social media as well. So they're below there.
Awesome.
I'll let it run for a little bit.
Yeah, man. And so on the 11th, where can people access the launch?
So the launch will be on the Reggae Online Facebook And then on the Reggae Online YouTube, on my Facebook, my YouTube, my Facebook is Michael Sean Harris.
Right.
My YouTube is also Michael Sean Harris. You can find it there. The Facebook is Reggae Online School.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube, I think you'd have to search for Reggae Online, but it's
Right.
there. It's also on Twitter, Reggae Online JA, and on
Okay, cool.
AELSEN
And,
on Twitter.
and what time is the launch?
It is 6:30 U.S. time, EDT, I guess
EDT.
Eastern Daylight Time, and then Jamaica it's 5:30.
Right. So
Right,
5:30 Jamaica time,
right.
6:30
EDT,
EDT, and
yes,
EDT is different from EST.
yes. I think it is. When I Google it, it says Jamaica is
So
Eastern
people,
Standard
if you're
Time.
in doubt, just put
Yeah.
in 6:30 EDT, and the time in your zone will come up.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
we had this the other day.
Hmm.
I kept saying EST, EST, and then when somebody who was in America, EST, when I said the invitation, she's like, "But this says 3 o'clock. It should be 2." So I'm like, "Oh my, so we're an hour ahead." So I
Yeah.
just made it. So as we now are running joke between Mike and I is we say 2 p.m. EST/Jamaica time.
Exactly.
Or we're
Exactly.
doing Jamaica things.
Hmm.
I'm like I said, I'm so excited about this idea you've had and the journey you've taken. And I mentioned, you are coming from somebody who I guess who had that your artistic and creative light turn on from early. So you went to vast prep, right?
Yes. Yes. Which is
And
a
then you
very
went to
artistic space.
Woolmer's,
Yes.
and then from Woolmer's you went to
UA for 1 year.
what? Couldn't be here no longer. And from UE for 1 year you went to.
After that, I went to Berkeley College of Music. Yeah,
For the first time. And what did you, first time at Berkeley, what did you do?
I did undergrad. Did music technology and contemporary writing and production. So music
And,
technology is all computer stuff,
right. And then when
and
you
then
went back, what did you do?
music technology.
Okay, I get you, I get you, I get you. And as a performer, so you were in Capital Levy,
Little people
Teen
and
Play,
team
Little
players.
People, and then you went
Yes,
to Ashe,
that's
and
right.
then you're also a solo performer,
Right.
musician, artist, Gungo Walk Alternative Festival, and I'm affirming will come back into our lives at some point.
Amen. Yes.
And you've
Yeah.
toured, you've traveled, you've gone all over the world. What would you do? You think was all of that preparation and practice for like this, what you're doing now?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think that was preparation, but that was also the inspiration. I think for this,
Yeah.
I think it's the people that I met, the things we did, kind of
Mm,
put that light on. Oh, this is possible, or this is
possibilities.
needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 So, Mike, again, boy, congratulations. So proud of you. So excited to be part of the journey, and we're looking forward to as many people as possible. 'Cause we had a conversation privately about you know Germany, Australia, Antarctica,
Yes.
Japan, Australia,
Hmm.
um, to get the word out there to people. Because here's one of the things that we talk about a lot as well, that is sad but true. A lot of people outside of Jamaica are owning, loving, and hugging up and bigging up Jamaican culture more than us.
Yes.
Some of the tenacity, some of the musicians abroad who try to learn to play the guitar and in these bands playing the music. And I say to
Hmm.
somebody, there are mental and ska festivals happening all over the world with very few Jamaican bands playing or present.
Yep. Hmm.
That other people and them, if there's no written music, them write them own music, them go online, them research. People was killing up themselves when the Japanese girl one dance, I'll take my girl learn her thing them pan
Yep.
line and get her body in the rhythm and
Hmm.
and and for me that's not the same as appropriation.
No. No.
Appropriation is when you try to act like it's you created and
Exactly.
you make them, and Maria is good at finding and rushing those people.
She sure.
But there are those
She
people
sure
who
is.
say
Yeah.
they're teaching authentic, and
Yeah.
some of them never come to Jamaica yet to take one dance class.
But
It can't really
there's
be authentic if you only did it by watching somebody else's YouTube.
But there's also the Jamaicans who own up and don't really support.
Very
They
much so.
support in word alone or
Thank
in
you.
defense. Support
That
in
is a
defense is
problem
what it
that we
is.
have. A
They
lot of
don't buy music. They
talkers,
don't buy music. They
they
don't
don't buy
support anything. They
music.
don't, but they
They
own it.
don't.
But it's ours, and it's
Yes.
a few way. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And hopefully, Reggae Online and some of the other things happening now in the space, and more collaboration and people talking will help to deconstruct that and get us really supporting and not just doing lip service or when it's
Right.
a and you and I, we know this through the years.
Hmm.
Black History Month, Reggae Month, Independence. You can do a little something, and let's start with we don't have any money in the budget. So as I got older and bolder, I'd say, so why are you calling me?
Right.
But there's money for the meeting room and chair and
Hmm.
food and but there was no line item for entertainment.
Or if it's a big artist, yes,
Aye,
there's money for it.
yes.
And they, they'd say, "Oh, can you do a cultural item?" And I was like, bring a goat, put a goat on stage. That's a cultural item. Or a hand cart, just wheel it on, 2 minutes, wheel it back off. Um,
Just have a table of bami and ackee and
yes,
saltfish. That's
that's a
cultural.
cultural item. Yes.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. But
Mhm.
we're hoping and we're celebrating, Reggae Online's addition to the space.
Yes.
Um, Thank you for asking me and inviting me. Really, really excited
Mm.
and affirming big things. I'm seeing this blowing up big and being an international force to reckon with. That lecturers and teachers and things will be referring people to it, all
Mm.
kinds of things. That's what and then the collaboration that will come even after you launch.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
possibilities,
I hope so.
nice things. So as you may know, sir,
Yes.
anybody who comes on Fabian Say must play a game or activity.
Okay. What is
So
a
you
what
have
is a
you have five choices.
what's the least dangerous game?
So there's mix up and blender
Oh dear.
that is asking you to reveal something you may not have revealed before and may not want to reveal.
Okay.
Let me ask you something which is a little safer set of questions. There's rapid fire, which is I just say some words and you say what comes to mind. Or
Okay.
there's spelling, or there's Jamaican culture and history.
Oh dear. I like rapid fire. Sounds interesting.
Rapid fire. Okay. So no thinking, no thought, whatever comes to mind. Money,
Need
teeth,
are good.
black,
Great.
sex,
Nice.
twins,
Cool.
mango,
Delicious.
hero,
Everybody.
maga,
So
soca,
nice.
chocolate,
Delicious.
samphire,
Cultural.
butu,
Eh.
putus.
Sweet.
Last one, bunununus.
Ashe.
Hey, there you go. So I just have one minor correction, and I know I know you thought that was the right response.
Uh-huh.
But when I say mango, the only thing you must say is Julie.
But I like Bombay and East India.
No, for me it's Julie and Bombay. I don't like East
Okay.
Indian.
Okay.
I think it's hairy because East Indian kind of hairy. Though I've
Yeah,
never
but it's so.
Bombay and Julie.
I think East Indian, Bombay, and actually, I'm saying Bombay, but what I grew up with was a hybrid. I think it was a Julie Bombay hybrid that my father had done. And it was delicious. And then
Yes.
black mangoes, because you can eat several in one sitting.
Blackie, come on mango. There's something.
Yes.
And then there's a big mango named I don't say actual name Hayden.
Yes, I've heard of
You
it.
can bust it with Hayden mango.
Yeah. Yes.
Them big and the skin tough.
Yes.
The other day, Mike, I had a chilled Bombay mango in the freezer, and then you cut it and you took.
Yes, man. Yes. Yes.
And then, of course, recently Savannah Blessed with you. Me love you like mango.
Love that song. Yeah.
Love that song and love that artist. So excited about that. And we're even hoping that artists will log on and do courses.
Yes, that would be nice.
And then promote and share and encourage people.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Sean Harris, the ideator and creator of Reggae Online. Thank you for joining me on Fabian Seh Season 3, Episode 2.
Thanks for Hawks.
Big up yourself. And also for being my co-conspirator
Yes.
and producer for Fabian Seh. Enough love and respect, Mike.
Enough love.
Affirming big things. Big
Thank
things. Big
Yes.
things. Thank you.